What's going on YouTube? This is JabberTech, and today I'm going to give you my full review on the Galaxy Note 8 after using it since launch. So it's been about, I'd say 5 or 6 weeks at this point, and I have a pretty good idea of if you should buy this phone or not. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so let's just talk about the specs really quickly. Snapdragon 835, 6 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabyte of built-in internal storage, and a 6.3 Super AMOLED display in that 2:1 aspect ratio. So let's get into this phone and see what we're working with. And right off the bat, I want to say I have pretty large hands. So for me, this fingerprint scanner has not been a big deal. I know a lot of reviewers and people complain that it's a little higher up, and I do agree if it was in the center, it'd be a lot easier to reach. But honestly, for me, it hasn't been an issue. I have not really misplaced my finger and touched the cameras by mistake. I have touched the flash a little bit, but that's to be expected. So with larger hands, the fingerprint scanner, once you get used to it, is pretty easy. Is it the best location? No, I will agree with everyone else. But is it a deal breaker? Obviously not. I still have the phone. So really guys, don't really worry about the fingerprint scanner. And also, if you don't want to use the fingerprint scanner because you do have smaller hands or you find it a bit awkward to reach to the very top of the phone, you can use the iris scanner, which is really quick and accurate. I've used it in the dark with glasses on, not sunglasses, but reading glasses, and it's worked pretty much every time. Is it as fast as a fingerprint scanner? In the right lighting situations, it is. Other than that, it might take an extra second or two. Really not a big deal. And then your fallback can also be the PIN code. So you do have many options if you really hate this fingerprint placement. So don't worry about it. Don't let that be a deal breaker. And looking on the side of the phone, you do have the volume rocker on the left side and the Bixby button down here, which you can turn off if you want. Sadly, you can't remap it. Bottom of the phone, you do have the beautiful headphone jack, USB Type-C connector. You have your speaker, and then you also have the S Pen. And then on the other side, you have your power button. So that's to show you the fingerprint scanner. Let me just show you how quick it opens. Press the finger and it's unlocked. Let me show you that again. So it is locked. Press your finger and it's unlocked. Really cool. So let's get into this phone and why I pretty much ditched all my other phones and stuck with the Note 8. And I think this is going to be my daily driver for a while. And it is this screen. This 6.3 Super AMOLED display is absolutely gorgeous. And at first, if you've been watching my channel, you know I did have the G6 and I absolutely love that phone and the wide angle camera. And when I first got the Note 8, I thought this was ridiculously big and I just thought I wouldn't enjoy it. But really, after using it for about a week or two, I decided that the screen size was absolutely great. And the main reason I thought it was so great is of course the S Pen. So if you don't really want to use the S Pen, if this is something that you'll never use, get the S8 or S8 Plus. Well, the S8 Plus is a closer comparison to the Note 8. But I will say once you get used to this S Pen, even just for doodling and sending messages to friends, or Smart Select, cut and pasting things from the web and attaching it to an email, you really get used to this S Pen and you can't put it down. I'm not going to pretend I don't do a lot of productivities on my phone. I prefer a tablet or an actual desktop to do that. But if you do need to sign something really quickly, this works as well, and people do accept it. They really don't know that you signed it from your smartphone, so that's really great. So let me just show you some of the quick features of the S Pen that you're going to use on a daily basis. Probably one of the cool features is live message. So you can type a message and have it animate, and you can change the pen from some sparkly one to just a glow or just to a regular ink pen. So let me show you the difference between all three of them. This is the regular ink. So if you do hi in regular ink, and then you go and switch it, you can switch the color if you want. We'll say hi there, and then you just click done, and it will animate itself. And then from there, you just attach it to a message or an email. So this is what it looks like. So it basically mimics everything you've done. And in order to share it, you just press the share tab and it'll open up your options for email or whatnot. And then let's take a look at the glow pen just to give you an idea. it just highlights the background. I'm going to write the same thing, just like that. I'm not going to bother animating it for you because it's really basically the same thing. But the fun one, in my opinion, is the sparkle one. So you can write something like that and it actually sparkles. Let me show you what that'll look like. Perfect. Really, really nice. This is just a fun tool if you want to send something to a friend of yours. It's just a nice little thing to do. So if we open up Chrome, say you're reading some of your news, getting caught up with everything, all you have to do, if you find something that's pretty cool, use the Smart Select feature, and then you can just select whatever you want to share, and it'll cut it out for you automatically. And then again, you can either save it, you can set it as a backdrop if you want, or you can share it right from within this app. And then you can also draw on it if you wanted to add your own comments. Like you could circle something and just be like, wow, this is awesome. And then it'll save it with your comments and you can just share it right from the app again. So let's discard that. That also brings you to screen write, and it is basically what it sounds like. Once you tap on screen write, it will take a screen image for you, a screen capture. And then of course you can just write on it and be like, wow, that's amazing. So it's basically the same thing, but it takes a screenshot of the entire page rather than cutting out what you want to share. And of course you can crop it if you want to from within the app. So that's pretty cool too. And then you also have this idea of translate. So let me find something to translate for you. So with the translate feature, it's very simple. Once again, you just pull up the options, click on translate, and then on the button on the side of the Note 8 pen, all you do is click on it and hover over whatever you want to translate, and it'll bring it up. So bonjour in French is hello. And then you do the same for the next word. Comment allez, how are you? How are? And then vous, you. So hello, how are you? And that's exactly what I typed on the top. So the translate feature is really cool if you want to read in different languages, or if you speak another language but don't know what the word is. It happens, language disappears if you don't use it after a while. So that's a good thing to do as well. And that's basically everything that I use. Of course, notes, I'm not going to go over that. You can type your own note. But speaking of notes, the really cool feature about this is with the screen off, say you want to take a note really quickly, you can just pull out the S Pen and the note feature starts right away. So you can write yourself a note right away and then save it, and you can save hundreds of these notes so you're not going to run out of space. And that's basically it. Click down for another one or click up to see your notes. And then once you click out, you can discard it or save it. So that's really cool as well. Really nice feature. And then let's get into the most talked about feature of this phone, and that's Bixby. To be honest with you guys, Bixby has gotten a lot better, but I'm not really a fan of using Bixby or assistants on a phone personally. I like the Google Now app because it just shows your news at a glance. And that's what Bixby is trying to do. So you have funny GIFs that appear every day. You have some news there. You can integrate your Twitter feed into here, your Facebook feed. So it's okay. But like I said, personally, I'm not one to just talk to my phone and be like, hey, Bixby, open up Instagram and do a post. But actually, let's do that for you guys right now, just to show you how it works. Maybe you do like using assistants on your phone. I just find it a lot easier just to do it personally by myself. But let's open up Instagram and I'll just show you how it works. So to show you how Bixby works, and there is a bit of a learning curve on this thing, so it might take a little while for you. All you do is press the Bixby button. Hey Bixby, open up Instagram and post my last image. So there we go. It'll open it up and select your last image that you took, and then you can just click on next and it'll post right away. So that's pretty cool, I guess, if you're into using assistants to do the work for you, but that's just not me, like I said. And the great thing about Bixby, Samsung did listen to us, so you can disable the Bixby key if you want. I've just left mine open because honestly, Bixby hasn't been that bad. And for the things that I do, like, what's the weather?
It's 73 with lots of sunshine today.
Bixby's just awesome for that. And as you see, you get XP points. This is basically Samsung's way of getting people to use Bixby. And these points, if you earn enough of them, they're actually good for rewards points with Samsung Pay. So if you do want to use them, you can use it. And obviously Samsung is using this also to data mine to figure out what people are using. I have no problems with that. Google and Apple do it all the time. But like I mentioned, if you don't want Bixby, you can turn it off, thankfully, right there in the settings. So no worries there. And of course, you have Samsung Pay. And yes, you can get Android Pay on this device as well. I have both on here. But Samsung Pay does have the MST technology, which basically will make this work in 99% of the terminals that do not accept NFC payments like Apple Pay or Android Pay, because it sends a magnetic pulse to the reader and that gives all your information. So basically you can take this phone traveling with you to any country and still use your Samsung Pay if you have the US card set up for it, and you won't have to worry about someone stealing your card number. Great security feature to have. Really enjoy that feature as well. And I do use Samsung Pay on the regular, so I really enjoy having MST as well. It's always shocking to see people when they say, oh, I'm sorry, we don't take mobile payments. And then you just show them and it just works, just like the commercials showed you back in the day. But it does just work, and it is great to have. So that's been Bixby. It's hit or miss. I personally have a Google Home, and I like being able to control my lights and my TV and all my connected devices. So Bixby really doesn't offer anything special, but it is on the phone. It will tell you the weather, it will set your alarm, it will open an app. So it is pretty much very integrated into the Note 8, which I do like. So if you want to use it, the more you use it, the better it gets. And then let's talk about Bixby a little bit more. You can search for images using Bixby, and I've found this to be a little hit or miss, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So let's take this Polar can right here, and let's open up the camera app and get Bixby Vision, and let's see what it'll tell us. And let's click on text, and it should extract the text for us and let us know what we're looking at. And this is in real time. So select the area that contains the text. So all you have to do is shrink this, and let's see what it gives us from Polar. And if we extract it, it says Polar. And you can translate it if you want. Let's see if we translate it to Croatian. There we go. It's all right. I guess this would be useful if you are in a foreign country and you want to know what a sign says. But let's get into if you can find some shopping with it. So once again, we open up Bixby. Let's click on shopping. And it doesn't come up. I've found it's really hit or miss, like I mentioned. If you click on image, there we go. It's really just noticing that it's a can. It can't really tell me what it is. So I'm hoping that Samsung will improve on this. But it does work, so let me show you something that it does work on. And if it did not work on this product, we'd have an issue. This is a Super Nintendo Classic Edition. Let's see what Bixby can bring up. So if we click on shopping again, it did come up SNES Classic. So this is really version 1.0 of Bixby Vision. So I do imagine this will get better over time. We can only hope, but I don't really use it that much. So it's not a big deal for me, but if it is for you, you might want to check out Google's implementation of it when they release it on the Pixel. But for me, not really an issue. And we're going to talk about the camera quickly because I do have a full review, which you can click on above, that displays the photo camera quality and what I think about it. But in a word, awesome. Battery life. A lot of people are saying battery life on this is trash. This is day 2 of the phone, and I'm at 22% at 3:30. I took it off the charger yesterday. I believe I charged it about 4 p.m. to full. And I have no problems with this. Again, if you're a heavy user, maybe you'll have some issues with the battery. But if you're a heavy issue, you're going to have issues with the battery no matter what phone you get. For me, the judgment is, will it last an entire day? And the answer is yes. This phone will get you through most of the entire day till about 8, 9 o'clock before you have to recharge it. And that's with going on Instagram, texting, calling, etc., being connected to a smartwatch at all times as well. So I have no problems with the battery. And another issue I want to mention that's not an issue for me, but a lot of people are trashing on Samsung for this, Samsung lag. This phone has not lagged one bit for me. I have had 0 lag with this phone. And again, it's 6 weeks into it, and there's no lag, zero problems. So I'd say Jabbertech's opinion, don't listen to other people saying that this phone is laggy. With 6 gigabytes of RAM, this phone is not lagging whatsoever. Maybe that'll change. I know the Samsung lag does kick in after about 6 months or so, so I'll give you an update. But for right now, battery life has been awesome for me, and it has not lagged for me whatsoever. And just everything that this phone offers you, I want to say that it's the entire package. Definitely worth the price. I really enjoy all the features here, and the wireless charging has been great. I've using that most of the time. Quick Charge 2.0 has been awesome. Really great feature to charge up your phone like 50% in about 40 minutes or less. That's been great for me. No problems at all. Camera is amazing. Awesome camera quality. Really great. And yes, that is my word of the day for this review. Really great, because this phone definitely does offer just about the best of Android to date. All right, guys, one awesome feature that you're only going to find on Samsung phones at the moment is this dual audio setup. So you can basically connect 2 Bluetooth speakers and listen to the same music source. And this is not a Bluetooth 5.0 feature. Samsung actually put 2 Bluetooth chips in here. So let's check it out. It does take a little bit to sync. Sometimes it's a little off, but it is a great feature. So this is the Beats Pill. This is the other speaker. And as I mentioned, it does take a little while to sync, so if you listen to it enough, it will fix itself. But other than that, it sounds really good. See, it's fixing itself now. So that's a great feature to have, and it's really not intended to have the speakers so close together. So if you put them a little far apart, you're really not going to hear the difference. Really great feature to have, and I'm glad Samsung put it on this phone. I haven't used it that much, but I'm sure I will in the future. But one feature I do think is a little bit of a gimmick. That's this Edge feature where you can put people there. You can put your favorite apps if you want, and you can put a bunch of other apps if you want to download them from the App Store. I really never use this feature, but it is here, and it does display some useful information. If you just want to check out weather, you can get a weather widget, you can get a stock widget. There are a few apps in the store that you can pay for and that are free. But what it is cool about this, say you want to do split screen on your Note 8, and it is a beautiful screen to do so, you can set up your 2 favorite apps that'll open automatically when you click on this Edge button. So let's click this one here. So you can open up both of your favorite apps, and then you can also just be here, search whatever you want to search for, and they'll run. Then you can just close them out. Another cool thing about Samsung and what they've done, and yes, Android Oreo now has this built in, but you can do picture-in-picture as well. So let's open up YouTube and let's watch this review right now. So what you want to do if you want to do multitasking, all you have to do is click on the button, hold down it, and then it'll start a little window there. So you can have this picture-in-picture here, and then you can just do whatever else you need to do, and you can move it around like so. So let's say you want to just put that in the corner, and then you just want to open up, and then you can open up your second app, and you'll have Instagram, and you can still watch your videos, and yes, it still is playing in the background. So it's kind of a workaround also for YouTube Red if you want, so that's pretty cool too. And then what you can do is minimize it, and it'll turn it into this little pop-up button that will stay on your screen, which you can move around. And even if you open up another app, it's still here, it's still movable, it's still clickable, and you can click on it and expand on it at any time. So that's really a cool feature that they have as well. Again, Samsung includes just about everything they can, and I haven't noticed any lag. As you see there, I do have 1.5 gigabytes free of my memory, so the extra RAM definitely is helping out. And those of you that have an S8 or S8 Plus, let me know what your feelings are. How's your phone been running? You've definitely had it longer than the Note has. And would you have benefited from the extra gigabytes of RAM? So would I recommend this phone? Yes, I would. Great phone. The price has come down quite a bit on this phone, so you can find the deal on it if you want to. And I think you'll be really happy with it. Tons of accessories for it. Wireless charging, quick charge, S Pen, headphone jack, IP68 water and dust resistance. That is great. I've used this phone in a rainstorm and not even thought twice about it. So overall, really great phone. I definitely recommend it. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.